You know what I'm
It's
saying?
a capsule.
They're mad cause you told the truth. That's why they mad. They're mad cause you wanna be you. They're mad cause you told the truth. That's why they mad. They're mad cause you.
Okay,
Welcome
check
to
it
the
out.
Hood
I hear this
Motivated
stuff.
podcast where we hustle, motivate, and inspire. We got a bomb guest today. We got Dr. Kimberley. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing, Jan?
Man, it's so good to even have you grace my platform. I appreciate it, first of all. And man, from the first moment I met you, you've been putting me in position to win. But can you tell the world who you are? Look into that camera right there.
I sure will. I'm Dr. Kimberley Mitchell. I'm also known as the Purpose Pusher, 24-year Air Force veteran. Go Air Force.
Go Air Force.
Master esthetician. I also own 3 spas, 2 in Tampa, 1 in Lakeland. And I also help people in the beauty industry grow and scale their business. I'm also an entrepreneur, 10-time best-selling author, and just trying to make God proud with impact.
Man, hey, you making God proud. And then you just, hey, you know what I'm saying? You just, hey, listen, I love your energy and I love the fact that you're really authentic and you're very humble, but you are going around doing so much for the community. Right now, like you got to be in Lakeland in about an hour to go speak for some kids, which I'm hopefully I get to follow you next time.
Yes.
And you going around helping people start their business.
Yeah.
On esthetician and beauty. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so
Okay.
I feel like every girl needs to own a spa.
Yeah.
Right? We don't leave a legacy. We always try to just be the consumer
Yeah.
instead of being the entrepreneur and actually making the money.
Right.
So I've been in the beauty industry for a long time. I used to help major corporations grow and scale
Right.
from 7 figures to 8 figures. And I had somebody stop me and say, why aren't you helping our community?
Right.
Why aren't you helping people that look like us that are small business owners?
Right.
So I put my team together. I said, okay, we're going to show you how to open a spa in 8 weeks.
Okay.
So that's what we do. We teach people how to open a spa in 8 weeks, make 10 to 15K in a month.
Wow, look at that. And you go around the world doing this?
Yes. So we're taking it all over the U.S. right now. I want to go all around the world.
Okay.
But right now we go all around the U.S. helping people open their spa in 8 weeks. So this year we have another cohort coming this summer. People will be spa owners before the end of the year.
And how did you get into that?
Oh, I've always loved beauty.
Okay.
Right? So in the military.
Of course.
Thank you. So, and I believe that's confidence, right?
right.
So when you look good, you feel good, you
Right.
talk good, you perform good. So in the military, I was like, okay, I know I got to transition sometime. So what am I going to do?
Right.
But back then I was in a very bad marriage, right? He was verbally abusive. You know,
Right.
we talk about it. It's not a secret.
Right.
But I got married off of what I wanted to do, not what God told me to do.
Right.
So I found myself in a situation where I was silenced. I was muzzled. And I was like, Lord, there's got to be a better way.
Right.
So I said, okay, when I make my transition out of the military, I'm going to go do the things I've always wanted to do.
Right.
So I went to school, became an esthetician, opened my first spa. They told me I was crazy right out of school, but I had 5 rooms and I was rocking
Wow.
right out the box.
Come on, man.
And so I'm like, okay, Lord, let me get the second one. So when
Yeah.
I got divorced, you know, nobody wants to quit.
Yeah.
So when I got divorced, I was like, I'm going to show him.
Yeah.
So I opened my second one, which was my largest location. God just blessed me. And again, he kept downloading the blueprint. And so all I did was take the blueprint and do it again.
And keep doing it.
Keep doing it. Rinse and repeat.
Did you do the spas here or where were they at located?
I did 2 in Tampa,
Okay.
right off 301 in Riverview, if y'all know where
Okay,
that's at.
yeah. I used to live over there, yeah.
So I had my first one right there in like a medical plaza. Didn't
Okay.
know what I was doing.
Yeah.
The second one, I got my own building.
Okay.
Next to a tax office. We started doing parties. It just blew up.
Okay.
Then the third one in Lakeland, somebody called me. And she said, I see what you're doing. Can you help me with my lash business? And I took over.
Oh, wow. Look at that. So you had the blueprint to just
Yeah.
go around and start these, monopolize.
Yes.
And now you're going around just giving a master class on how to get it started within 90 days.
Yes.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah, because if somebody had given me the blueprint, I used to pray.
Right.
Like, God, why won't people share information? Why
Right.
won't people help me? And I didn't see anybody that looked like me.
Right.
Right? It was like, we're the beautiful people that
Right.
God is blessing, and you don't have to be out here trying to be somebody else.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, God, if you give me the blueprint, I promise I'll help other people. So that's what I do. I help people push purpose.
I love it. And I love the fact that you say you pushing purpose.
Pushing
and that's what
purpose.
it's about too. Just activate your gift and then connect it with purpose. Like we just,
Yes.
you know, we just talked about. You heard it, pushing that pushing that purpose, and you do so much more too.
Yeah.
So let's tell us about your new ventures that you got coming up.
Oh my goodness. So we have a speaking engagement coming up. I'm so
Okay.
excited. I haven't
Okay.
done a conference in years.
Oh, wow.
But I really want people, they tell me all the time, you don't look like what you've been through. And so that's what I really want to play on for this conference is there are so many people I know that don't look like what they've been through. So you see me now, you see my glory. You're
Right.
like, she's doing this, she's doing that, but you don't know what it took to get here.
Right.
You don't know what I had to suffer with, what I had to go through. And I even tell people it's something called a womb wound.
Right.
Right? So oftentimes we think, oh, something happened at 7, something
Right.
happened at 3, but something actually happened in the womb.
Right.
So when my mother was pregnant, she was smoking and drinking, right? And when she found out she was pregnant, they said, you can't smoke, you can't drink. So she rejected me right then. She said, it's her fault. I can't smoke and drink. So she rejected me in the womb. Then I was late. They had to do a C-section. They had to cut her open. She mad at me again. Why we got to get a C-section? Why she got to cut my body open? And so then they had to like pull me out with forceps. I found out later it was a trauma I suffered from being pulled out of the womb because they said I didn't want to come out. And so now I help women and men understand there's a womb wound that you have to heal from before you can go be who God called you to be.
Come on, man. You preaching right now. I love it because you're not just talking about it because you're on the mic. That's who you really are.
Yeah.
The moment I met you to now, that's who you really are. You pray for us. You talk to, you encourage. It's not like for play. Like a lot of people doing this Disneyland, Mickey Mouse stuff, but you really out there, and I appreciate it because that's who I am. I tell that to all my brothers, my line brothers, to my neighborhood brothers, to my family. Like I'm really in their ear with this positivity because we hear enough negative stuff going on, and real life stuff. Like what I'm saying, we understand that life is lifing, but we still got to be positive. And who motivates the motivators? Who inspires you? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and that's the question. Who inspires you?
So first of all, God, right? If I'm not praying and going to him first, I'm lost. But I also have coaches and mentors, right? Because even though I'm doing good, there's another level I want to get to.
Right.
So I have coaches and mentors that are at that next level.
Okay.
Right? 8 figures, 9 figures. How are we doing it? It looks impossible till somebody does it.
Right.
Right? I used to think, oh my gosh, $1 million a year, that's a big deal.
Right.
It's not a big deal anymore. People are making $1 million a month.
Come on.
Right?
Man.
So my mentor just made $3 million a month. And I helped her do it. And she's still like, what's next? What's next? Girl, you
come on,
you
you
had
just
$3 million a month.
Come on, yeah.
What else you want to do? But there's still more.
Right.
Because not because I want it selfishly, but because I want to help other people.
Right.
Right? We can talk all we want about purpose, but if we're not making a profit, what are we doing?
Right,
And we
exactly.
can't help anybody with just good talk. So that's what I teach people too, is you got to turn your purpose into profit.
And I love that because it was hard for me, first of all, to accept my purpose. And it was harder for me to make money off my purpose because I didn't understand that, right? So I don't think people understand that God gave you a gift and go exploit it. But sometimes we're so humble till it's like, God, do we make money off this? But then you look at all the basketball players, all the football players, all the baseball players, they're making money, right? Yeah. So even me coming from the bankruptcy to speaking and being a life coach, it was hard for me to quote my prices to people because I know what I'm worth and I know what I need and I know that I'm not working, but I know I need money.
That's right.
But it was like, how do you quote these prices to the people that you love, that are your friends, that are putting you in positions? And it took me about 4 years speaking for free, putting my content together, letting people know, and then saying, okay, hey, listen, if you can't afford me, let's double back next time. But if I'm getting paid like this from somebody that you're recommending, I can give you, I'll come speak for you for $10,000. But it was hard for me to even quote that. My first speaking gig, I was so nervous. They paid me $1,000. I was like, Lord, is this mine?
Yes.
Is this mine?
Yes.
Right? So now, and then it went from 1,000 to 5 to 10 to, $25,000 an hour. They paid me for conferences. But it was hard for me to get there to turn that into profit. How did you do that?
Well, I remember the Bible scripture, right? So first of all, that's a fake humility when we try to say, oh, I don't need to get paid for this. That's that imposter syndrome that we fall into.
Coach me.
I'm always coach you.
Yeah.
It's that imposter syndrome that we fall into that we're not supposed to get anything for it, right? We're just supposed to do it because God gave it to us. But God said in the Bible, he gave us the ability to get wealth.
Right.
He makes our hands to prosper.
Right.
So if he gave us this ability and he gave us what to do, we're supposed to use it for him, but give him the glory.
Right.
The problem is not the money or the paper because that gets printed.
Right.
The problem is with our mindset. And when we get it, we forget to give him the glory.
Right.
We forget to say he opened the doors. We forget to lead with him, which is when God has the problem.
Wow.
God's like, I want my name all over the world. So how else is it going to get there unless you do it?
Right.
Right? I remember when I was younger, I used to write poetry. Don't ask me no more.
Spoken word?
Yeah.
Love Jones?
I tried.
Come on.
Everybody wanted to be Love Jones.
Yeah.
And I had a poem I'll never forget. And I said, God, if you put the mic in my hand, I'm going to spread your name all across the land.
Right.
And I didn't know what that meant until I got older. And I was like, God, I really did.
Right.
So now my voice is in other countries. My voice is in other places. But I lead with it's God.
Yeah.
And even when people read my bio, I'm like, really, is that me?
Yeah.
But I'm just a girl that believes everything that God said about her.
Right.
That's it.
And I love that because you made me, in the last few months, just believe a lot more of myself. I doubt myself a lot. I do. And I'm a motivational speaker and I motivate everybody else. But sometimes I sit in a dark space and I'm like, God, like, is this for me? Right? Do I understand that? And I remember me writing a book and I'm getting ready to publish it. And he was like, show me the cover, JR. Show me the cover. And I'm like, I'm so stubborn in my business ways. I'm like, I'm not showing you, but I showed it to you. And then we didn't talk again for a couple of days. He was like, hey, I got something to show you. I was like, and he was like, I want to show you, first of all, he was like, JR, I love your book cover. I love everything you done about it. And I can't wait to read it because I didn't let you read it. But he was like, I got something for you before it. And you came back and you showed me a whole new world.
Yeah.
And I was conflicted because I had already put hard-earned money, work, dedication into something I thought that, and God was like, no, JR, take a step back.
Yeah.
And allow. Sometimes we don't allow people because we've been messed over so many times and the world is so cruel. But when I saw that and you told me, this is what you told me that got me. Jared, do you want your book to go to your homies, families, and friends, or you want your book to be sold in airports where nobody know you? And I'm like, what? And I had to think about that, and it triggered me to a point to where it's like, I need my stuff in airports. And I started thinking about Atlanta, LAX, New York, JFK, and I see books, and I always walk by and say, my book is gonna be in there one day.
About me, but they can't say I ever ran. I'm a G, don't doubt me. From the city where they hate nobody giving you props. Your homies will turn on you for $1 when gave them the drop. I know this game from the back of my hand. I saw it over my haters. To hope I fall, hope I crash.
And I started saying, I love my book cover, but do they love it? And when you did that for me, I said, God, just use me. Let her, okay, it is what it is.
Yeah.
A coach need a coach. And if this is what it is, and she forcefully is coaching me, and now I got to just let go, I'm letting go. And I appreciate it because you didn't allow me to say no. You just, hey, this is what it is. And then you told me I'm not sharing you. And I'm like, what does that mean?
Nah.
But now I get it because it's the energy, right? And I know that you only allow a certain amount of people around you. You know, everybody like me, I know a lot of people, but it's only so many people that could come around me. And you didn't introduce me to so many power hitters in the last few months, and I appreciate you.
Well, I appreciate you. I was going to tell you, I believe in you, right? Like,
Why?
that's the main reason.
Why
I believe in you?
Yeah.
Because from day one when I met you, you didn't lead with all the great stuff you did. You didn't lead with all of that. You just said, hey, I saw you. Like, I know we're supposed to connect. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And so from that conversation, I think we talked like 30 or 40 minutes the first time. Yeah. Just talking. Right? It was like a safe space.
Yeah.
And you got to talk about what you needed to get out. I got to talk. And so that's why I believe in you.
Right.
Because you're not just, I'm the hood motivator and I have an avatar and I lead with all the stuff I've done and I'm a combat veteran. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can read it. I done read the bio now. But you didn't lead with that. You were just like, I'm JR. Like, how are you? And I'm like, I'm good. And so we just talked.
Right.
But that's where coaches and motivators, they need that space.
Right.
But then when I started reading about you, I'm like, wait, he is like really it. Why don't people know you? But then I said, I'm not going to share you because I don't share who I connect with because that's mine. And I still believe as much as you're necessary, you don't know it enough yet.
Right.
And so I always tell people, when you have a baby in a delivery room, they only let 2 people.
Man.
Because everybody cannot come in the room.
That energy.
You can't, and you can't even share your birth too early. When you're birthing something in the spirit, I'm a midwife too. Yeah. You can't birth it too early because people want to see it die.
Yeah.
You'll have stillborn businesses.
Yes.
You'll have miscarriage visions.
Yes.
Like you can't have that.
Look at that.
And so I got to help you push it out. So when I meet you, what did I tell you? Like your life will never be the same. Not because I'm so awesome. Because I am. Thank you, Lord.
You hear that, Elias?
I am awesome. Yeah. But I knew there was something that God wanted me to help you push out, which the book was one of them.
Right.
And I was telling one of my other clients, and I'm like, wait, I can't tell her that because I charge for that stuff.
Right.
But I knew when I saw your book, I'm not going to let you go out like that.
Right.
It was a great cover. Let me sandwich it. Right. Let me give you the good and the bad. That's why I said, who did the cover before I start talking?
Yeah.
But it was a good cover, but it's not the level where I see you.
Right.
Where God sees you.
Wow.
Right. So I always ask God, tell me what it is you have for me to give a person.
Right.
Right. Because I'm prophetic. I can see and I can speak, but I had to learn not to say everything I see. Because then I become a fortune teller. Because Because if you start pulling on me and saying, what did God say about me? What did God say do? Then I'm a fortune teller because he may not want you to know yet. So my job is to say, God, show me about that person and tell me when to release it.
Wow.
And so when you show me the cover, okay, now I can release the awesome new cover that y'all about to see come out.
And what's crazy is, God, when you gave that to me, I was conflicted because, like I said, I put so much hard work in it, and I allowed one of my other artists to do it, and I grew up with that person, and I'm like, God, like, what do I do? And then I just showed everybody this, and God was like, keep this one to the chest. When the book drops, because they called me today about my email and my publishing name. When the book drops, you share the cover with no confliction, and you be proud of yourself because the story is about you, and you got more books coming out. And I said, at the end of the day, that person knows your heart.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you because I don't allow people to do that for me. I don't. I'm very, very. Kima tell you, I'm very I'm by the book. Because I've been there before. And I, like you said, I can read the room. And I understand. I said, what is this for? Why, you know what I'm saying? But God was like, let that person coach you. Let Dr. Kimberly coach you. Allow that person to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She picked up you like you knew me forever. And I'm like, we just met like months ago. Like, how is this happening?
Right.
And I appreciate that because you took it by force. And it was not like force like negatively. It was positive force.
Because I could tell, like, you've been in that place, right, where you don't want to give it up. You don't want to be vulnerable because I'm not gonna make you cry on your own show.
Yeah, don't do it.
But you don't want to. You don't want to share and let people in, and that makes sense, right? And you said you've been hurt, and you told me your story. But then, how does somebody come in and just show you, I don't want anything from you, but I just want to help you do what you got to do? Because oftentimes people want something from me, and they're pulling on me, and I'm like, I done met this great person. He don't want nothing. Yeah, I can give you something. Because I know that we didn't just meet by accident, right? There was a reason and there was a purpose. And so, God, I don't want to be in the way of who you need him to touch, who you need him to reach. So if I can help with something as small as a book to me, I'm going to do it. And if I can see it in airports and I can see it in schools and curriculum based off it, we're not going to send it with your picture. Yeah, we know who you are and you're going to be in the book, but not on the cover because somebody passing has 3 seconds to decide if they're going to buy your book, right? And so it may mean something to you, but it doesn't mean anything to them. So now how do I get somebody's attention in 3 seconds?
Wow.
Because we always say we're not selling, we're not salesmen, but yes, you are.
Yeah, you are.
Everything you have, your outfit you put on, you selling something.
Even the brand.
Right? The brand is everywhere. So your book ought to match that. And that was the one thing you asked me, is Hood Motivator going to be on there?
Yeah.
It's on there, man. The 8-ball.
Because I had business PTSD because when I first came out speaking, they said I was good and everybody wanted to book me and I was about to start getting paid. And then they told me they didn't want to use my name. And it hurt me because it's like, you don't want me to tell that story? Are you ashamed of me because I came from the hood?
Yeah.
And first of all, I was embarrassed to tell it. Now that I'm telling it, you don't want it? You know what I'm saying? Then I almost went back into my cocoon, like I'm not talking to nobody no more. But, that's why I asked you, I said, we're going to use my name because that's me. That's my brand. That's who I am. I want people to leave it right there. And when they open up that book, we misjudged you. Yeah.
And not even misjudge, like I'm about to change your life.
Yes.
Right? Because we look for it to come in this flashy, shiny way. But the thing that you weren't expecting is the thing that's the most powerful.
Oh, man. Say
right?
that again. Say that
go
again.
Ahead. The thing you weren't expecting is the most powerful.
Wow.
So go ahead and misjudge me. Go ahead and underestimate me. I'm about to kill it.
Right.
The problem is we go in sometimes trying to put ourselves out too much.
Right.
Right? And then you don't deliver. I love how you come in and you don't know what I'm about to do, but I'm about to kill it.
I'm about to kill it, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's what people have to know, and they have to embrace that.
Right.
And they have to know it's not going to look like what they thought it was going to look like.
That's my whole MO.
That's it.
Judge, I'm the elephant in the room. When I get up on that stage, boom.
Wait till I open my mouth.
Yeah, wait till I open my mouth.
And see what I get paid.
This is what God gave me. Here it is, yeah.
You don't have to, try to explain yourself. I think that's what we do oftentimes, even in our culture, is that we have to explain who we are and try to lead with what we do. I had somebody tell me that because I have a few titles, right? And little letters behind my name.
Yeah.
And I found myself doing the same thing. Because people don't say, I'm in my 40s, right? My mid-40s. People are like, no way, you don't look like that.
Yeah.
So I found myself leading with titles because I wanted to put myself out there and establish who I was.
Right.
But you don't have to. Because the minute I open my mouth, you're going to know who I am.
You know what time it is.
But if I got to lead with, I've been in the military 24 years and, I've done this and this, then I'm trying to explain to you who I am. But let me just open my mouth. And you'll see who I am.
Right. And, and I get it, too, because I got to a point to where, I broke out of that shell and I started getting my degrees and my certification. I'm putting them letters on LinkedIn behind my name, and I am the hood motivator. I am who I am. So at the end of the day, I started to tell people, but now it's just people. Now it's like, okay, that's JR, that's Dr. Mac. You tell me who I am, but still, you're gonna get the same message. It doesn't matter. Go ahead and downgrade it or up. It is what it is, but I know who I am and I know what God will need me to do. And I'm happy to have you here. And I want you to leave the kids and everybody who's watching on this camera something inspiring that you want them to know about us, about you, and about life.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you on that last point, though, that Jesus says, who do they say I am?
Wow.
He didn't ask you what you thought about me. What do people say about me? So remember that. It's what are people saying about you. All right. I want to remind you guys to walk in purpose, because whatever your pain is, it's not a period. You don't have to stop. Your pain is a prelude to what's about to happen. So take your pain, use that to push your purpose. Anytime you're driving and you come up to a speed bump, you don't turn around and go home. You slow down and you keep going. But in life, oftentimes we come to a speed bump and we turn around and go home and we don't go to our destiny. So I want to encourage you that when you come to a speed bump in life, know that it's normal. Know that it was put there for your safety. Just slow down and keep going. I know I got some of y'all that'll speed up and tear your car up. And that's what's happening to you now. You done tore your life up. So next time you come to a speed bump, slow down. Enjoy the journey and know this is all a part of your purpose. You can find me, guys, on Instagram at Dr. Kimberly_Purpose Catalyst. I am Dr. Kimberly on Facebook, The Purpose Pusher, and on all other platforms. And if you want to join the Spa CEO and open your own spa in 8 weeks or less, join our masterclass coming up.
There we go. Boom. I appreciate you. And before we leave, I just want to tell you that if you don't hear it enough, thank you. And I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart, from a black man to a black woman, that sometimes we have so much chismo and we don't allow people, even women, to help us because we have done it all. My dad raised me by himself. I know how to cook. I know how to clean. I know how to take care of myself. I really pride myself on not needing people, but I appreciate you and I need you to continue to be in my life and help me guide what I'm going through. And I understand and I love you for that. So thank you.
Thank you. And I got to tell you, thank you for having me.
Yes.
But I appreciate your authenticity. And I wanted to say that at the beginning, like, thank you for just being you and not leading with your titles and who you are and then not asking anything from me.
Right.
So as a lady sometimes, and especially when we're accomplished and we have things going on, either it scares people or they feel like they have to give us something.
Right.
But you just came in, you were a total gentleman, you were open, you were honest. And so I just appreciate you. Thank you so much.
And we was in the rain.
In the rain. You was a total gentleman. You just telling all your business today.
It was in the rain. I appreciate
you.
Thank you again, and I can't wait to have you again on my show. And we're gonna talk some more about this. But thank you for even giving me an opportunity just to be in your presence. So thank you.
Yeah, in July.
We're
gonna be on stage. I can't wait to have you on stage.
There we go. Boom.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
a capsule.
They're mad cause he told the truth. That's why they mad. They're mad cause he wanna be you. They're mad cause she told the truth. That's why they mad. They're mad cause you.
Okay, check it out. I hear this stuff.
Become the best at your job, the best recruiter. It makes them so mad when they go home. I bet it does. And I can say it with a smile on my face because I was that soldier. You never gave me an opportunity to excel. I'm going to excel so hard that my name ring bells that you would have said, you're going to have to say, that was my soldier one day. That was. What happened then? Why are you here and he there? Because you tried to stunt my growth. So I would tell you guys, just continue to grow. You're going to upset a lot of the seniors, but the way I hear y'all division and y'all company, y'all brass love you guys. I talk to y'all brass, Turcotte, your commander, all of them, Turcotte and all of them, they love you guys. Y'all are leading the way. So as long as you do numbers and stay within the regs, they're going to keep putting y'all in a position to win. And just keep winning.